MovieWeb.com.
Well, now I have to ask you guys, can you sort of describe your characters? Because I find it a hard thing to do after watching the movie and not giving anything away.
I play an FBI agent. We play FBI agents.
Yeah, that's legitimate. And that that we've been called. There has been a problem on this small town in the Midwest, and they need outside help, and we show up.
And there's a little bit of sleight of hand with your roles. I'm wondering, what kind of challenges go into fooling an audience? I mean, do you sometimes have to fool yourself into thinking what your characters may not be thinking?
Well, I think, there's a certain, probably there's a sense that our relationship is something more than just the professional showing up in the same car. So, I think we have to keep that under wraps, because that's not code. So, and we don't want to be spotted as being outside the code. So, but it's clear that we've got something going that's different than what most partners of FBI things. I hope so, because we'll be fucked as a country if we have a lot of FBI agents that are doing what we're doing. But
Yeah.
no.
I think one of the things about the film is that each of the characters have flaws, and some of them think that flaw is hip. Some of them get off on their flaw, and some of the characters, and I guess our characters, kind of hide what they're doing. But as audience, you are presumably watching this movie trying to unravel who did it, and looking for the signals and the signs that will deliver that. So, you're taken on a journey. I feel like when I watch it, and certainly when I read the script, that when I look at it, the stuff that I feel I shouldn't be laughing at is that I actually find really funny. So it's this, even around the laughter and the humor, there's a kind of confusion in terms of there's a side to it of why am I laughing, and I think part of it is that kind of aligning yourself with the moments when our darker sides come out, and that seems funny, but that can take you on a journey that the consequences can be dire for other people, because the heart of the humor is disconnectedness, and the heart of the humor is bucking up against one's responsibility to other human beings.
And from the get-go, there's some craziness that you can sense, but as the movie goes down its path, you especially, Bill, get a little bit more crazier and crazier, and I'm wondering, how do you discover where the top is, and when do you know you've gone over it a little too much?
Well, you rely on director, to go with you on this, and I think, for our purposes, it was good to have a lot of trust in Jennifer, being able to, select through, and we gave her a range of stuff to paint the picture with, and she, chose the takes and the cuts and everything. It's really impossible to control it as an actor in a film.
Yeah.
If you're in a play, then you got the whole control. But if you've got a movie, then you're relying on them to know what is providing enough mystery so that there's something that's tickling, but without revealing too much.
How much input did you guys have in creating these characters? Because from what I understand, Jennifer Lynch really let you guys come in and sort of improv and work through what you guys were doing and have a say in the creative process.
I would say surprisingly not that much more than normal. I mean, she's amazingly collaborative, and I don't think I've ever worked with a director whose objective was as committed to everybody having a great creative experience and nurturing what your strengths were, but that didn't necessarily mean that the script stood up as it was. I mean, she let people use it as a springboard, but I think I found with our stuff, yes, there were moments when we improvised and then let's take that line and put it in, but it wasn't as if it was a huge departure from what was there that she had written to begin with. I found, for me, maybe you did more.
Well, and she encouraged a lot of attitude in everybody. Whoever you were, she wanted you to love being you. And I think all the characters are, you know, really full octane themselves. You know, they have their truth. They love their truth. They're arrogant about how superior their truth is than everybody else's truth, and that's intoxicating. And you get a room full of people that are, it's like being at a room full of people in a rock band, you know, where they all want to play the lead guitar line or something. You know? So it's made for good fun. Plus she talks like a sailor, so, you know, there's a nice kind of foulness to it all too. A lot of attitude on her part. So it's a fun environment, but kind of crazed, kind of wacky, and the humor of it is a lot of her own humor, and just like, okay, beautiful take, and you know. But it's very different than David's movies. Both Julie and I have also worked with David, and it's interesting that a lot of people would say, oh, like daughter, like father, blah, 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 but she's got a whole different version of wildness that she's created.